Hello and welcome to the Rose Street Saxophone Room Tone Production Series. And what we're doing here today, this is our second part of our breathing exercise segment. Now we're going to start with a few breathing gym exercises. I'm going to set my metronome to 60. And what we're going to do, we're going to take 4 counts to fill all the way up to our maximum. And then we're going to take 4 counts to use absolutely every ounce of air that we can. 4 and 4 with me. And here we go. In. Push. And in. And push. All right, good. Thanks for doing that. And now that we've kind of figured out how we need to pace ourselves through that, now we're going to introduce what's called our monitors. This is, again, a breathing gym exercise. So you're going to take your hand, karate chop your face, and as you breathe in, you're going to breathe past your hand. And then as you breathe out, because this is a saxophone video, I want you to be thinking about cold air touching your hand about 6 inches away from your face. Let's try that again. 4 and 4. Here we go. Push. In. Push. All right, good. So now I've kind of done that a couple times. You can do that more or less times depending on if you feel like you're really getting it or like, man, I'm just not sure that me or my student is getting this. So let's go ahead and see what we can do more with that exercise. All right, next, now we're going to go on to 2 and 2. And so, again, we're going to breathe into our maximum over 2 counts and breathe down to our minimum over 2 counts. And now, you may get lightheaded through this, so find a chair near you or make sure that your student has a chair. And if somebody is getting dizzy, it's because you have more oxygen in your brain than you're used to having. So you're a little bit lightheaded. And that's fine. So just sit down, breathe in through your nose, and you'll be all right. But now let's do 2 and 2. We're going to do 4 of these. And here we go. Freeze. Are you completely empty? Did you get all the way full? Did you get all the way empty? All right, cool. Make sure that we're actually getting to our maximum. We're actually getting to our minimum. Let's try that again. Ready and out. Big sigh. All right, I'm going to turn off the metronome for a second. Now, as you go through these things, if you're in a hot practice room, or, if you and your student are kind of having a hard time, I'm getting a little dizzy, I'm freaking out. It's all good. Just make sure that we're breathing in through our nose. We're sitting down in the chair. And then this will get easier over time. Now, sometimes I still get a little bit dizzy as I breathe, but I make sure that as you do this over time and as your lung capacity gets bigger, this will be something that makes it easier over time, but also it's just going to make your breathing capacity and your just initial intakes of air. You're going to be able to take in more air in a smaller amount of time, and you're going to be able to make your air last longer over a period of time. So now what we're going to do, these things are called ski jumps. So we're going to do 10 of these in a row. You breathe in for 1 count, then you breathe out for 1 count. All the way up to your maximum, all the way down to your minimum. And you're going to move your hands like you're skiing. Now, some of you may have never been skiing before, and I, for one, am terrible at it. I spend more time on the ground than I do actually skiing. But here, I don't have to worry about that. So let's go ahead and do 10 of these in a row. We're going to set our metronome to 60. Find your posture. Make sure that you start with completely empty lungs. And here we go. Breathe in through your nose. Again, in through your nose slowly. All right, good. So we're moving a lot of air. Now, not all of us are going to be playing the tuba. If you're watching this video, you probably play the saxophone. You might have to breathe like this if you play bari or bass, but we have a little bit more resistance than a tuba player does, so we should be able to make our air last a little bit longer than that. But this does kind of help us move our air. It helps keep everything super loose, and we're exercising our maximum capacity that we defined with our 3-dimensional breathing exercise. And now what we're going to do, we're going to keep our breathing in for 1 count, but then we're going to expand the second half of our breathing exhalation process. So we're going to go from 1 to 2, we're going to go from 1 to 4, we're going to go from 1 to 8, and then 1 to 16, and then 1 to 32. We're going to do some crazy stuff. So if you start to feel dizzy, pause the video, chill out for a second. Let's go ahead and set our metronome, get a little loosey-goosey, and make sure you've got your good posture. You start completely empty. We're going to be all right. Now make sure that we're using our monitors for this exercise too. And here we go. One and 4. One and 8. One in 16. One in 32. You're fine. A couple of those things, you can keep that metronome going. You keep that tempo in the room, then your students are going to stay focused, you're going to stay focused, and you're always going to be on task. There's just something about a metronome that just makes people just keep going and stay focused. Now, this next thing that we're going to do, we're not going to have anything to do with the metronome. This is called fighting for air. I love this exercise. It's very cool. Now, for those of you teaching, those of you who are leading a group of people, you're going to have to demonstrate this for them, and I'm going to go ahead and do that now. But what we're going to do is you're going to start completely empty. You're going to have your hand ready. And then as you start to breathe in, you're going to block airflow with the back of your hand. And you're going to hear just a small hissing sound because you're trying to breathe in, but your hand is in the way. So hopefully you could hear something now. Woo, now, woo, now, woo. Excuse me. Breathe in through your hand, and then you're going to make sure that you're blocking that airflow. You're going to kind of count to 5, and then as you rip your hand away, you're going to continue, because you've been fighting for air, because you've been fighting to draw air in, air is just going to rush into your lungs. And then you're going to be completely full. As you're completely full, you're going to take sips. It's like you're trying to blow up a balloon to its maximum capacity, but you don't want it to pop. We don't want to pop our lungs, but we do want our lungs to just stretch a little bit from that maximum capacity. You're going to hold it. And then you're going to let all the air rush out. All of it. Now that we're empty, you're going to hiss. Hold it. And then you're just going to take a normal breath in. And what this does is that we stretch our minimum and we stretch our maximum. So I'm sure so many of you have been in this situation where you're just at the end of a phrase and you just don't know if you can make it. And then you breathe somewhere you're not supposed to and you ruin the music. Ugh. So we don't want to do that. So we have to do this exercise. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Set your posture. Make sure that we're super loose. Empty your air. And now let's fight for air. Hold it. Stay full. Stay loose. Hold it. And out. Hiss. All right, in through your nose, relax. Get everybody to set their posture again. We're going to do this 2 more times. All right, here we go. And out. Fight. No coughing. Stay full. Stay in control. Think about a nice song. And out. Hiss. Now, if you find yourself coughing or losing control, then you've probably gone a little bit too far. Here, we're teetering on the edge of our maximum and our minimum, but we're not going so far that we lose control and we start coughing or like convulsing or whatever. We don't want to do anything super crazy like that. But we want to make sure that we're staying refined and that we're stretching these extremes of our breathing capacity. All right, let's do one more. And this one's going to be a little bit longer on each of these sides. So let's think about that. Prepare yourself. Out. Fight. Stay full. Think about why you might do this afternoon. Stay relaxed. No coughing. And out. Hiss. All right, cool. Now that we've done all those things, we've warmed up our air, we've figured out our posture, we know what our minimum and our maximum is. Now we get to go to mouthpiece exercises. We'll see you on the next video.